Hey guys, it's me, Olivie Blake, and this is me, a total mess, not writing. Okay, so at some point someone said I should do like a get ready with me video, so I guess that's what we're gonna do today. I reblogged like an ask list, and I've got a few asks, and mostly I'm just gonna chat at you while I get ready. This is actually me just getting ready for the day. So and it's like a pretty normal day. I have to like go to the library and work. So yeah. Anyway, welcome. Um, this is gonna be so terrible. Okay, welcome. I do have my dagger. So that's important. I do not have a beverage because so I'm going to put stuff on my face and do my hair. So I am not drinking anything. I know, crazy. Okay, so first thing, I already washed my face. I used the Korres Wild Rose exfoliating cleanser, which I have said before. And I used this Origins Mega Mushroom Relief Lotion. It's kind of like it feels more like a toner, like it's very liquidy. As you can see, I have a zit situation going, hormones. And then I also have, I think this is a 1-inch barrel going. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Right, so I said I washed my face. It's clean. Wash your face, girls. Starting off strong with, do I believe in the underworld? All right, let's see. So here's my CC cream, my Herborian CC cream, which is still the same bottle as I used, or package I used last time, so this stuff lasts for a while. Do I believe in the underworld? That is, you know, I'm really not sure what I believe in. I mean, I think it's obviously pretty impossible to know, which means I kind of believe in everything. I don't know. I guess I'm really hoping I'm surprised, you know, assuming that I'm going to die, which, unless I'm some sort of like, you know, demon and no one's told me, that would be fun. But yeah, no, I just assume I'm going to find out when I get there. And if nothing happens, could be worse, I guess. I always think it'd be way worse to be alive during like a zombie apocalypse or whatever. Like, that sounds like it would be really terrible. Seems like it'd be easier to die. What a morbid place to start, right? Okay, what's next? Okay, this is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which I don't normally use foundation, so you're gonna see I use like not a great brush. But it's the one that Meghan Markle's makeup artist used for her. And I wanted to give it a try because I don't really like thick makeup. And this one is definitely medium coverage, definitely buildable coverage. I don't know that it's magic. I mean, this at least matches. It's matched pretty well, which is good because I don't always have things aren't always matched well for me. I had to go in and ask someone to help me because I'm not very good at figuring out what color I am. Also, sorry that I'm gonna keep just disappearing from the screen. It's not too heavy. It does need to be blended a bit, like with my fingers at the end. Let's see, what was my next question while I keep doing this? Do I have any major responsibilities or importance? I guess not. I would say my biggest responsibility right now is just making sure you guys are getting through the week. Right? I don't know. I'm joking. I think you're doing just fine. I'm blending this in now. I really want to get one of those like beauty blender things, but since I don't typically use foundation, I don't know how much longer I'll be using this for. So we'll see. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think some people think of marriage as a responsibility. I think of it more as like a partnership. I was telling Mr. Blake the other day that I couldn't be doing what I'm doing right now without him. Just because I don't really believe in myself enough on my own to go through something that has so much rejection. And I mentioned he just became a teacher. And he was like, well, I wouldn't be doing this on my own either if not for you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, everyone would have told me, because he was an athlete. He was a jock in high school and whatever. And he's like, well, everyone would have just told me I was too stupid. And I was like, but that's crazy. And he's like, well, then it's crazy you don't believe in yourself. And I was like, make some good points. Gonna do my eyebrows now. Let me get another question. What's the most terrifying thing I've ever done? I'm gonna go with fall in love, actually. I was never of the belief that love was a thing. I've kind of always had the idea that love is very temporary, or that it can be very temporary, and that it would fade. And then I think after a while, I just kind of became more comfortable. I'm blending it in now. I think I just became more comfortable with the idea that if it fades, that's okay. Doesn't mean it's not worth doing. And I think once I became comfortable with that idea, I got more comfortable with the idea of being vulnerable with somebody else. So I think that's what's so scary about love, is you open yourself up to heartache and heartbreak, and you put yourself, basically, parts of yourself, in somebody else's hands, and that is very terrifying. I think especially for me, because I have control issues, one might say. Actually, John Bellion has a great song. His album came out last week, and the song is Blue, and he says something about how, what is love if you're in complete control? And I think that was a really good point, but that's also why it's so terrifying. It sort of feels like you're hurtling through time and space, and you no longer have any control over yourself or your feelings or what's even happening. So it is kind of scary. This is a brow setting gel. As you can see, my hair looks great. I slept with it wet last night after I got home from the gym, and it's a mess. Okay, what is your favorite animal? Okay, so this is not even really going to answer the question, because I don't really know what the answer to the question is. But I wanted to talk to you guys about bees, okay? This is going to sound totally crazy. But so basically, what do I want to do next? Oh, I'm going to put on some of this highlighter. This is my Marc Jacobs, the Fantasy Dewdrops. So, a little goes a long way with this. Now I'm using you as a mirror. I'm going to put some on my eyelids also, because I don't want to put on any eyeshadow. And I've got all this excess on my fingers. So, okay. So here's the thing about bees. There are 3 different kinds of bees. There are drones, worker bees, and the queen. So only the queen can fertilize eggs, right? And I kind of knew that, but I did not realize, I just assumed that, like, if the egg goes unfertilized, then it, like, doesn't hatch, like, I don't know, is that how chickens work? Something like that. I just assumed, like, okay, so if the queen doesn't fertilize the egg, then there's no bees from the eggs. But it turns out those unfertilized eggs that are haploids, that are basically just clones of their parents, those are the boy bees, okay? So those bees just don't even have, like, both sets of genomes or whatever. All they have are huge eyes, because bees mate in flight, so they have to see the queen coming. They don't even belong to the hive, okay? They don't have stingers. Boy bees do not have stingers, and they can't collect nectar. They're totally pointless. The only thing they have is oversized eyes and a penis. So they fly out of their hive. They don't even belong to the hive. So that means all beehives, they're just women. They're just a society of women. Anyway, so the drones, the boy bees, they find the queen, they have sex with the queen, right? The queen mates with like 5 to 19 of these drone bees, like, in the air. And then she rips out their abdomen, including their penis. So they have one shot to have sex and then die. That's all they do. Like, what a life, right? Like the opposite of the patriarchy. Yes, okay, so that's drones. They get their entire penis and abdomen ripped out and then they die after having sex with the queen. So, worker bees. All the worker bees are women. So what happens after the egg does get fertilized, if the queen, she's got a whole sperm thing, I don't know, she fertilizes the eggs, they become worker bees. And the way bees get fed is they eat, it's called royal jelly, which is like these bee proteins. And that's like where all the nourishment comes from. And they don't have a lot of it. So they give it to the worker bees up to a certain point, and then they start feeding them nectar, like normal bee food. Except for, this is how the queen becomes the queen. When the worker bees notice that the queen is weakening or she's dead, they pick one of these fertilized eggs and they feed it more royal jelly than the others. So basically, they choose the queen. This is like, there's no divine right here. This is just, they just fill this bee full of nutrition until it's more developed than the rest of them, and that becomes their next queen. This is a godless society of women who all collectively work together and select their leader who then protects them. It was just the craziest thing. And I immediately went online and bought my sister this honeycomb necklace for Christmas. So I'm going to be so remember. And the next time a boy treats you shitty, that if he were a bee, you could just rip his penis out. And anyway, the point is, bee society's crazy. So I'm really into bees right now. The reason I'm talking about bees or researching bees actually is because one of my characters in my next book, that I'm like a third of the way through probably, doesn't have magic. He is a theoretical mathematician and he's got a theory about time travel and hexagons. It's kind of like quantum theory with the multiverse, but he's really into bees, and so he was telling one of the other characters about the bees, and obviously she's super into it. Who wouldn't be? Oh, someone said, do you generally give good advice? And then they said yes, so that's good to know. That's really good to know. I'm gonna pause while I put on eyeliner. It's brown. I have not blended it, so it's dark brown, waterproof, Sephora, whatever. I've moved away from the black felt liner. One of these questions was, what is my relationship with my mother, which I thought was really funny. I think she has the best fashion sense, and I implicitly take all her advice on clothes and stuff like that. But I think as I've gotten older, I've become my mom's advice friend. She and I have super different ways of seeing the world. So I think that's just a really funny twist in our relationship, that as I've gotten older, she has come to me more for advice. All right. My Dior Show mascara. Let's see, what else do we have here? I probably look weird with just eyeliner and no mascara. Have I ever felt trapped? That's an interesting question. I actually constantly feel trapped. The thought of settling down somewhere is very, it gives me a lot of anxiety. And every now and then I get the urge to travel somewhere. I often get the feeling I'm bigger than my surroundings and I need to leave and find something that's the right shape or size. And obviously I don't really have the ability to do that all the time. But yeah, I always feel the need to travel, and I often feel the need to move, which is weird because I also don't really I don't love change. I like temporary change a lot. I think that's why I enjoy traveling, even if it's a weekend trip or something. It's just, I am sort of a creature of habit, but I do like my habits to be temporarily disrupted from time to time. I get restless a lot. Which is why part of what was important to me when I was looking for, well, I wasn't looking for Mr. Blake, but something I always knew I was going to need in my life was someone who was also going to enjoy traveling and who wasn't going to want to stay in one place. And he's like this guy who escaped a small town, you know, so we have a lot of the same or similar values. And we have sort of that same need to wander. And I think if he didn't have that or couldn't understand that I have that, that would be a problem. But luckily it's not. Okay, this is my Bite matte lip crayon. This is very matte, so I'm going to put a little bit of this Rosebud Salve on also, because my lips do get dry. And it is arguably winter. 20 minutes and we're done with face. Almost. This is my Supergoop setting mist, so putting on sunscreen because I gotta walk the dog and walk to the library. I'm also gonna, my perfume, I've used this perfume for years, this is Chloe. Okay. Let's do hair now. Oops, what brings you joy? Well, I guess I already said travel. That sort of thing. I like to explore things, I guess. I really like to be in social situations. I like to be around people a lot, but I also like to be alone from time to time. I think I like to be outside. I like to wander. I think it's more, I like to be reminded of my own freedom, I guess. So I like to do things without a plan and without telling people. One of my favorite sensations is, oh, nobody has any idea where I am right now. I used to feel that way a lot in college. I'm just wrapping this around. I like to have a mystery, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm a secretive person and I just don't have a lot of secrets, so I have to have like pretend secrets. Also, for the record, my hair is naturally wavy, but like when it's long, it does that like mermaid thing. When it's short, for some reason, not so much. It's also not a great shape right now. It needs to be cut, probably. What's my family like? I have, oops, missed one. I have two much younger half-siblings. So they, yeah, my brother and sister are much younger than I am, and so I'm their advice friend too. Grew up with my mom and my stepdad. When I was younger, I lived actually with my mom and my grandparents. I wouldn't consider myself like a family person. I think because I'm such an incurable wanderer, I've never really thought of myself as wanting to be surrounded by family. I also don't get homesick really very much. And I guess I don't really think of anywhere as home either. Well, think of Mr. Blake as home. I know, that's like super cheesy. But it's true. You know, I think people are more something that I think of as belonging with rather than belonging to a place. What is one thing I've had to fight for in my life? This career of mine I'm trying to have has been quite a fight. I think that was one of the things I noticed about law school, was that I really didn't want to fight for it, and I am definitely the kind of person who fights for what I want. I'm definitely the sort of person who gets things because I walk in and I say, I want this, and I will do whatever it takes to get it. So in the past, that if I haven't felt that way, that's been a pretty good indication that I don't really care about it. So yeah, I guess I fight for most things. And if I'm not fighting, that's when you know we have a problem. This is also like why I got into boxing, I think. I think I just feel a lot. Do you ever get the sense that you just like feel so much and you just have to get it out? I feel like a lot of women probably relate to that. And I know some people deal with that with like running and stuff, but punching people really works for me. Am I an easy person to anger? Yes, it's really, really easy to upset me. My mother has actually always said this about, like, ever since I was a kid, she's been like, you need to calm down. And I just feel very strongly about things, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand how other people don't get angry. There are people who are just like, not mad. I'm like, look at the world. How can you not be mad? How can you not be mad all the time? What do I think of myself? I get pretty bad imposter syndrome. I think that's kind of why I feel the need to be very honest. Because I know it's such a common feeling. It's like, imposter syndrome is when you feel like you don't deserve the things that you have. And I used to always think that, you know, in relationships, I'd just be like waiting for the other person to realize I wasn't that great. Or like I'm constantly feeling the need to tell people like I'm not a genius, there's not a secret. I just work really hard and this is what it is. But then I think that's also how I reassure myself, because I do work really hard. So at the very least, what I can say for myself is that when I really want something, I will definitely do everything in my power to get it. Mr. Blake has said before that he hopes that he dies while in some sort of cycling accident, because, like, involved with a car, because obviously a lot of drivers are not very safe. And he was like, and if anything ever happened to me, I know you would start this, like, nationwide campaign to, like, put everyone who'd ever hit a cyclist behind bars. And I was like, that's actually, like, this is a weird thing you're telling me, but thank you, it's flattering. I think he sees me as, like, a powerful person. I said before that the lion tattoo that's on my ribs is a reflection of what Mr. Blake thinks of me. And I don't know that I always see myself that way, but I want to see myself the way he sees me. I think that's that's a good sign that you're in a good relationship, when you want to see yourself the way the other person sees you, instead of insisting that they see you the way you see you. Of course, I don't know. This is only one kind of relationship. And I'm sure there's lots of other ways to be in a relationship. But yeah, he makes me feel like powerful and interesting. And I want to be that person. I want to be the version of me that he thinks is powerful and interesting. So maybe sometimes I am. Do I play any instruments? Yes, it has been some time, but I play the flute, the piccolo, saxophone, the trumpet. I think that's it. Most woodwind instruments, and then, like I said, the trumpet. I kind of like experimented with them a lot when I was in high school, but I primarily played the flute. I played it in the orchestra and the jazz band, in addition to the wind ensembles and the marching band. So that's definitely the one I was best at. And I'm trying to be good at the ukulele. I'm good enough to play one song, hopefully. 2 songs, actually, though TBD on what the second song will be. Would people say that I'm intimidating or fairly approachable? I think people have often given me the indication, or like implied that they think I'm intimidating, which I'm not sure why. I think in terms of my flaws, I do have a tendency to be condescending. I will admit that. So I can see how that would be intimidating. I think I'm generally, but I'm not very judgmental, so I think that would be the approachable part, one would hope. I also don't look very old. The other day, well, it wasn't the other day, but what is time? I got ID'd at a rated R movie, which the age to see a rated R movie is 17. I am older than 17. I will confirm that for you. Am I a moody person? Well, I have bipolar, so yeah. I am very much a creature defined by my moods. And I never really know what they'll be or how they'll change, but they always do, and I just kind of have to roll with them. Actually, answering the question of what kind of person I think I am, I don't really think of myself as one person. I think of myself as several versions of a person. Not in like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of way, but not totally unlike that. I mean, I don't think I'm like drastically several different personalities, but I definitely think that I have maybe like a few primary moods that make up who I am, who or what I am. Do I prefer day or to be active in the day or night? Both actually. I don't love sleep. I try to take advantage of as much waking time as I can. So sometimes that means staying up late, and sometimes it means taking advantage of the early mornings. I think in general, I require a lot of sunlight. I definitely have like seasonal affective disorder, so I need a fair amount of sun. So I guess if I had to choose, it would be daytime. I'm not really a night owl. I just like to take advantage of the night hours if I happen to be awake. I like to get into shenanigans at night. Actually, you know how, well, I don't know if you know, but different alcohols, I swear, have like distinctly different responses from me. And like tequila, when I drink tequila, I will just run off into the night. I don't really know why that is. It's like it gives me all this, well, probably not the tequila itself, probably the fact that it's usually in sugary drinks. Makes me feel the need to like run away. So if I drink tequila, if we are out at night ever and I have some tequila, you can expect to lose me within like an hour. I'm the escape artist when I get drunk. But that's pretty much it in terms of drunk personalities. That is, I don't. Luckily, I don't get mean or particularly crazy. I just try to run away. I really need to get my hair cut. I need to do something about. There's just so much of it. Okay. Well, now I'm ready to, well, I guess do whatever I'm doing today. Which, since I have spent all this time on my hair, might as well be a thing, a something of some kind. Anyway, it has been lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any thoughts, go ahead and ask me on any platform you like. Little Chmura's birthday is, actually, it's the day that this is being released. So keep an eye out. I wrote a Dramini for her. It is Dramini in space. It is not Raylo. It's just Dramini in space. So yeah, hope you like it. Okay, well, this has been me, Olivie Blake, not writing, and I'll see you next week.